The first media day of the 2026 Formula One season in Melbourne is officially in the books, and it was absolute chaos. We are talking about a catastrophic physical crisis at Aston Martin, twisted mind games from Red Bull and Mercedes, Oscar Piastri desperately downplaying McLaren's chances at his home race, Lewis Hamilton dropping a massive retirement ultimatum, and a whole lot more. I am Paddock Outlaw. Let's dive right into it. Let's go. Formula One cars are literally electrocuting drivers right now, and Aston Martin might be forced to quit the Australian Grand Prix after just 15 laps. We need to start with the absolute disaster happening at Aston Martin right now. The new 2026 Honda Power Unit is shaking the car so violently that it's causing severe physical harm to the driver. Team boss Adrian Newey just dropped a bombshell in Melbourne, admitting that there is a very real risk of permanent nerve damage to Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. Alonso revealed that after just 20 to 25 minutes in the car, his hands and feet go completely numb. But Lance Stroll gave us the most brutal quote of the weekend. When asked what the car feels like, he said, "I guess it's just like electrocuting yourself in a chair. It's not far off." Because of this, Newey confirmed their running in the race will be very heavily restricted. Stroll thinks he can only survive 15 laps, and Alonso says his absolute limit is 25 laps before permanent damage sets in. Aston Martin is literally entering a race knowing they might have to retire both cars just to save their drivers' health. Did Red Bull just fake their testing times? George Russell just exposed a massive 7/10 lie, but Max Verstappen is telling everyone to stop crying. Moving on to the mind games, George Russell and Mercedes are looking dangerously confident. Russell is convinced that Red Bull was suspiciously slow during the second test. He claimed that according to Mercedes' data, Red Bull went 7/10 of a second slower compared to their own first test, while everyone else got quicker. Russell is basically accusing Red Bull of massive sandbagging, completely hiding the true pace of their new engine. But what does Max Verstappen think about all this noise? He is incredibly relaxed. He said he was positively surprised by the new Red Bull engine, and for all the drivers complaining about the new 2026 regulations and how hard the cars are to drive, Max had a brutal message. "It's a bit late for that. You could have seen this coming." Classic Max. Classic. Hey, Lewis Hamilton just dropped a massive retirement ultimatum to the FIA, while Oscar Piastri admits McLaren is already losing to Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton is starting his second season with Ferrari, and he looks happier than ever. He said he finally understands the Italian culture of the team and feels much happier and gelled with the squad. But Lewis dropped a massive threat to the sport. He refuses to retire until Formula One returns to Africa. He said he feels like he is running out of time and has been pushing stakeholders for years, specifically naming South Africa and Rwanda as stunning locations. On the technical side, Hamilton warned that 2026 is the most challenging era ever. He explained that electrical deployment is the biggest nightmare, revealing that lifting off the throttle in just one corner like turn 5 or 6 can cost you a full second on a lap. Meanwhile, hometown hero Oscar Piastri tried to lower expectations. He admitted that from testing data, Ferrari and Mercedes look to have a slight advantage over McLaren and Red Bull. Piastri also defended his boss Zach Brown, who was painted as a villain by Australian media last year over team orders. Piastri shut down the rumors, saying his relationship with Zach is very good and has only gotten stronger. Valtteri Bottas just cheated the FIA out of a massive grid penalty without even driving a car. Valtteri Bottas is back in Formula One with the brand new Cadillac team. Everyone thought his weekend in Melbourne was already ruined because he was supposed to serve a 5-place grid penalty carrying over from his disastrous 2024 Abu Dhabi race. Well, guess what? The FIA quietly changed the rules. Article B 2.5.4b now states that grid penalties expire after 12 months. Since Bottas sat out the entire 2025 season, his penalty literally just vanished into thin air. He starts his Cadillac career with a totally clean slate. But we all love Valtteri, so welcome back on a starting grid. Formula One is about to cancel an entire month of racing and lose $100 million because of massive missile strikes. Finally, we have to talk about the geopolitical nightmare facing the sport. We might not have any Formula One races in April. Due to the escalating conflict in the Middle East, missiles have struck near an American base in Bahrain and hit energy bases in Saudi Arabia. With airspace over the region becoming a no-go zone, F1 is seriously considering canceling both the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. If they can't find replacement tracks like Imola or Portimao at the absolute last minute, Formula One will have a completely blank month between between Japan in March and Miami in May. On top of that, canceling these two races means F1 loses out on a massive $100 million in hosting fees. The clock is ticking and F1 needs to make a decision next week. What do you guys think? Is Red Bull really hiding a rocket ship, and will Aston Martin actually survive 50 laps on Sunday? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the paddock.